1770, Boston was a city on edge. Crowds argued with British soldiers almost daily. The redcoats marched through the streets as if they owned them, and many colonists felt insulted and pushed around. Small fights broke out, and fear hung in the air like a storm cloud that refused to move. On the night of March 5, 1770, everything changed. Snow covered the ground, and the streets were icy. A lone British guard stood outside the customs house when a group of colonists began shouting at him, accusing him of cruelty and unfairness. More people gathered, and the shouting grew louder. Snowballs flew. Then rocks. Soldiers rushed to help the guard, forming a line with their muskets. Colonists shouted, "Fire if you dare." Others yelled back, "Go home." The noise was wild and confusing. In the chaos, someone slipped, someone shouted, someone pushed, and suddenly, shots rang out in the cold night air. 5 colonists fell to the ground. Blood melted into the snow. It became known as the Boston Massacre, and it shocked the whole continent. Newspapers carried the story everywhere, calling it a terrible attack on innocent people. Many colonists believed the British had crossed the line that could never be uncrossed. The anger was no longer just whispers. It had become a roar. 3 years passed, and tension only grew stronger. The British kept one tax alive, the tax on tea. It seemed small, but to the colonists it was a symbol of control. They didn't want Britain telling them what to buy or how much to pay. Tea was part of daily life, and now it had become a battle line. In 1773, the British East India Company brought shiploads of tea to Boston Harbor. Many colonists refused to unload it. They said the ship should go back to Britain. But Governor Thomas Hutchinson ordered the tea to stay until it was paid for. The people of Boston had had enough. On the night of December 16, 1773, a group of colonists, many disguised as Mohawk Native Americans to hide their identities, marched toward the harbor. They moved quietly but with strong purpose. Samuel Adams gave a simple signal, and the men rushed onto the ships. Under the moonlight, they broke open wooden tea chests and dumped over 300 of them into the dark water. Tea leaves spread across the harbor like floating shadows. The crowd watching from the shore stayed silent, knowing they were witnessing something historic. This bold action became known as the Boston Tea Party. When news reached Britain, the king was furious. He decided to punish Boston harshly. But instead of breaking